We bought an LG dryer and they say the door is not reversible, the hinge. It was opening into the room, which didn't make sense for us when you see the dryer. We wanted it to open towards the wall. So I swapped the door around and it wouldn't start. And all I kept doing was looking online going, why won't this work? There's got to be a switch or something. There is. If you look inside the door, if your door is opening, it used to open right-handed, I call it, or left-handed out. The reason for it is, you guys see how there's this round embossed area? In that window, there's a magnet. That little magnet right there, the black thing, that's a little magnet trapped inside a little pocket that they've created in the plastic. I've already removed the magnet, and when I place it on the sensor at the top of the door, the dryer runs. Now, I'm going to steal the magnet because I'm here at my new home, and we don't have a magnet here, and I want to dry clothes tonight. So I'm going to take the magnet out, and I'm going to tape it to the white sensor on the frame of the dryer. You'll see me do that. I'll take this out because I did try taking the magnet and putting it in the top of the door, but the magnet is not strong enough to work through the thickness of the plastic. That's why they made a hole, an opening, so that the magnetism can go through when the door's in a certain position. If they would have created that same boss on this side with another magnet, the door would have been easily reversible. That's not the only thing. The other part is the reason for the taper on this glass is while it's tumbling, it takes the clothes and flips it back into the dryer. So if you change the hand of the door, make it open in the opposite direction, you need to pick up the door face, which is it's a glass door, and you got to turn it 180 degrees. All right, so I'm going to take this magnet out, and I'm going to just tape it to the door so that it works. See, I'm just digging it out of the emboss, and I scraped a little scratch on the top of the magnet so I know that that's coming away from the machine. Because some people know, there's a north and a south pole to every magnet. So I don't even know if that sensor wants north or south. So I'm going to make sure whichever way I do it, the M or the little scrape will face away from the machine. So I don't want to put it back in here because I tried it once. It didn't work. It wouldn't go through the plastic. So I'm just going to take some electrical tape because that's what I had. I had taped it in here and tried it. It didn't work. So I swapped the door glass so that you would see how it's done. This whole assembly, it just literally pops apart. So when you take the 8 screws out, there's 5 here and 2 more up here, it pops out. I started it from the hinge at the end. I take a screwdriver from the end and I popped it up so that these tabs would release. And then I kept working the door all the way around. Be careful with a screwdriver because this has got to be the softest plastic I've ever seen. I barely, gingerly pried with the screwdriver and made big dents and scratches. So luckily I did it at the hinge side where I'm not going to see it. But once you get this back in, you line it up. And just pop all your tabs back in. And now we'll put all our screws in. The 2 short screws go up top on the latch. And then there is there's a 3rd short screw which goes in the middle. In the bottom near the hinge. And then we have 4 longer screws that go in the corners of the hinge. Went crazy trying to figure it out. I'm going, where the heck is the door switch? It's got to be a magnet. We tried a refrigerator magnet that I had, and it didn't work. And I'm like, that can't be it. Let's take the door apart and see what it is. So it just ended up being a much stronger magnet. So to be honest, you can probably just buy yourself a neodymium magnet off of Amazon, and we'll tape it to the door, and you'll see how it's going to work. I did all this already. I'm just redoing it so that you would see how to do it rather than just talking. And then it's a 5/16, 2 5/16 bolts that hold the hinge in. You'll see we're going to go. This has got, when you put it in, one side, if you look, see how it's got like a ledge on it? You're going to see when we put it in the frame of the door, it's going to go in and slide down. That's what locks the whole hinge into the machine. And then we'll put these screws in. All right. So all I do is I put it in here, and I'm going to go up and then down so that little tab can lock in. But I'm trying to hold the screwdriver under my chin, and I'm struggling over here. Isn't it funny how I just did this 2 minutes ago? Okay, so it's in. It's going to go down just a tiny bit. I mean, it ever so slightly holds on. So I'm just going to put, and then I'm actually moving the door towards me so that I can find the threads. And I'm lifting on the door now that I have the bottom one in partially. We're going to get these screws tightened up. You got to open the door all the way so that you can put the screws in. Now they had Loctite on them. I don't know if they'll loosen up. If they do, I will reapply some Loctite. The only difference is when I did this, I swapped from each side and I took the catch, the lock off of this side. It was in that pocket and I moved it over. That's all I did. But when I tried it, all it would do is beep. It won't run. So let me get the magnet. And as long as this door closes with the magnet in place, just put it in the middle, and I put a little bit of electrical tape because that's pretty much all I have. And I think because now it sees the magnet, the door light turned on. Close the door, and we're off. Oh, for God's sake. Must have to be higher towards the top of this white piece. Unless I have the magnet upside down. There you go. So it goes towards the top. Ding ding.
It's working now.
Yeah. So much for not being able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some epoxy tomorrow and I'm going to glue that in. The only downfall is this. If you leave that magnet on there, I can open the door while it's running. So you'd be better off to glue that magnet to the top of the door. So if we taped it and figured out exactly the placement, then we could take the magnet and glue it to the door, and then it'll work fine. Hey, at least we fixed it. Now we can open the doors towards the wall. So let's see what happens. It's sensing the load right now. It's trying to figure out what's going on. And this is actually our first time. We've never seen it run, so we don't know. Because I had the bright idea of changing the door prior to using it at all. So it's working, and now it's saying 1 hour and 15 minutes for the cycle. So what we did was we put 2 towels in this one. Ann had the idea, let's put a couple of towels in just to clean any dust on the drum. I don't believe there's any dust, but that's what she wants, so that's what we get. So we're going to do the first load with that, and then we can do the entire load that we did already from the washing machine. So, sweet! Thanks for joining in.